Hi, this is Visa Grand Duchess Rasmus Goonen. After my evening walk from 952 Old Georgetown Road, basement apartment, Bethesda, Maryland, to Bethesda Avenue in the gorgeous, fabulous Barnes and Noble on this beautiful fall day. Mm. With everything youthful and breezy and almost flushing the skin. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure everything is in your reach, so that if you get a chilly wind, cover up. Or if you have that blotchy little spot, put a little lotion all over it. Anyway, today we're doing the Wall Street Journal. I like them, very informative, and they are not like Washington Post. Very Washington Post is very quarter vast, meaning it's just very local on an international scale, if you know what I mean. And then maybe we're all at a fifth grade level, which we're famous for selling these at. But that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Flowers and feathers still for them, honey. Anyway, darling, excuse me. Makeup, makeup, makeup. Wall Street are powerful earthquake hills, many in Afghanistan. And so, in that effect, you have all the from the military, and that they went there, and you notice the hospital is dead. Something else is blown up. Now they have to do the rest of it. Valiant seeks to reassure investors. Who the fuck are Valiant Pharmaceutical? They just formed these like a conglomerates to hide what the real story is, girl. Pharmaceutical. These days, darling, all you can do is take another something and become more youthful and beautiful. Tell me that's the direction society is going into. No longer the days when they're gonna somebody want to have a baby, but they become a baby again to regrow, darling, living for 1,000 years. Fed strive for clearer signal on rate move. I've never seen a country this rich. What the president did is hide the money in this war-torn place, Afghanistan, Syria, and pretense. Well, anyway, honey, when the president goes out of office, nobody prosecute them, so he can always take another 620 billion and laugh at you fools. You still will have to be working again. Good. A frustrated Koch brother decided it's time to spout out. Whoever the Koch brothers are, they must be really fucking rich. And anyway, why don't these Americans just prove? I mean, this is the land of liberty. They're all voting for presidency. Just say, hey, I am the billionaire that's buying the White House this year. And let people approve it. And get one of the little puppeteers to sit in office. Because God knows they read at a 8th grade level or a 5th grade level. And darling, they have to be prompted to. Red meat linked to cancer. In China, alleyways a means of moving money. You're correct. There's nothing like those fierce Chinese. We have to see if they're going to be strived also. There's the new word in the military strife. We have to see where they are going with the new product manufacturing, which is becoming like a parody, really, manufacturing. And service. What do you call it again? Service. What do you call it again? Outservicing and outsourcing. What is where that is going? If they're going to move from China, if the United Nations moves from New York, which Mr. Putin wants to move because they're too contrived, that nothing gets done there, then the Chinese may lose some. May, darling, but it's not going to increase with Russia. I'm giving too much facial delights. But anyway, when I leave I read for jokes. Sales of new home slides. With all these people taking where they're ingested. The home prices must slide. Because guess what, darling? Whole families are. Have you ever been downtown Friendship Heights? And we don't know what's going on there. It must slide. They're building. There is no need to build such a house now. They need to look at the infrastructure and reinvigorate society. If they want to make some old neighborhoods new, knock down a couple old houses and make it spacious like the suburbs. Plant a few trees, darling. Save the climate. FBI lends a hand to the police. Let's call the police the military reserve unit. Because God knows we don't know what. And we talk about this because it's a militaristic society. They want to make this a militaristic society like China. That's because they can't get away with anything. And darling, I am totally disagree with that. Because first, they have no humanity. No humanity means that you do what because you're part of this little society. And so when the FBI comes, the FBI is not supposed to be now the educated branch of the police. It is so unseeming. But anyway, do what you want to do. Turkey's goals are tested. Turkey has been the one that have been doing, we have been talking of since Iraq days, who have been gassing the Kurds. Turkey, the ally of, and where there is a base of the richest, most powerful. Turkey. It's the United Nations don't comment on this these days. Child, what a farce. Where are they going to fall? Europe tries to new track to manage migrants. Where are all these migrants come from? Expatriates, repatriated. Because, darling, in those Middle Eastern countries, it's like a purging going on now. We don't want people who are Mexicans. Go back home to where you come from. That is why they never ousted Assad. Assad took the flight to Russia. If Assad took the flight to Russia, then the Americans were there doing whatever they thought they were winning until they came back home. Now we hear that people are being blown up and conflicting stories, election. If I was a Syrian, I would say this is a presidential honorarial society. We will elect the lowers. The lower governing bodies. Opposition may challenge populist rule in Argentina. I can tell you a little story about Argentina. Well, actually, it's not Argentina, it's Venezuela. Earthquake. The myth of Hillary is inevitable. Needn't I say more? Red meat tied to cancer. Really, is it the red meat or is it damn things that the cows are eating? Hospital nurses improve critical shift status. Imbeciles, they don't even know what the fuck their really professionalism is. If the doctor say the person is this, that's what they do, rather than outline the symptoms. Me, I used to be one, and I did not relish the career. I sort of worked in what the guidelines were, and they worked within the doctor's guidelines. There is a difference, darling, in the style of practice. No wonder healthcare is poverty in America. People cannot get the right proper things. You accuse somebody of doing something else, and then you follow that accusation rather than doing yourself. Laziness and lack intuition and lack drive, forward progressive ability. Crucial shift change, and darling, they can't even support their own profession or their professionalism. What a disgrace. At least doctors lie for each other. Elevate. Finding fashion history. If there's one thing I like is fashion, darling. You know what? There is a thing going down these days from the White House, and they're trying to make it to the ground society. They're intolerable of creative people or handicapped people or mentally ill people. The fashion world, the creativity of a mind. It's the discrimination of somebody that's not like me that's really what's strangleholding these people in this society. They want to make it a uniform society. A uniform of what, darling? Look at the creativity and the lines. Fashion is so forward. It gives me the progressive people. But what arrests the fashionistas is that they're in their own little society. If one of them decided to step out, as creative as you can create is a creation that you can use the simplicity to solve solutions. I love artists, darling. I love creations. I can't stand stumblers. I mean, people that purposely stumble. Some people can't help themselves, you know what I mean? Landscape would be that surreal. Anyway, business, I have the head for it, but guess what? I'm not getting into it. Check CNN or one of those things. Oh, sorry, darling, I'm not using it. Money and investment. Girl, what am I doing for money and investment? I am not spending one single dime for 2 weeks. I'm only paying bills, no money, and I'm eating all the food in my house and drinking water if I have no drink. Try it sometimes. Eat a little that you have, handful of stuff, whatever you have in your house, until it's all gone. All gone. Zero. Zero. That's a target and a mark. Sometimes you have to make these little goals for yourself. For people like me that's still working for my money from this U.S. military that almost tried to kill me. Fratricide. We know that Congress tolerates it. I'm not gonna wait for 10 years from now. They said, "Oh, Tillman," and they're gonna call me. I said, "You ain't gonna do that, bitch." Anyway, priest, thou shalt make money. I wonder what kept them from doing that all these years. They were always doing those priests. If I could tell you the childhood stories from St. George's that I used to go to, girl, tragic, and all these little what do they call them again, Jesuits that used to come from America, and all their sex capades with some of those students. It was live. I used to laugh, girl, but you know what? Since it was consensual and they were doing what they had to do, that's their business, right? U.S. oil imports on the rise. From where? Iraq? Girl. Girl. You can check the market, honey. I don't. Entertainment news. What a scandal. With Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. We want to begin to think that who is Lamar Odom really? Is he is it somebody else? His family need to be really on alert. There is something not right in that whole story. And the pretentiousness of it, as far as the reporting of everything, is so north and south, west. That, darling, they need to get a handle on some sort of command. And then if it's a, then darling, guess what? We are in for a bumpy ride with that family. If I was those Lamar Odom children, I would get a hold on that money and said, you know what, we keep this. Get a lawyer, darling, and put a hole in that money and said, you can only do this. But since their mother wasn't legally married, there is something to be said about that. Anyway, on the political campaign, who do you like? Personally, Fresh Blazer is that criminal Sivini. Damn criminals from Korea. Good. Who do you like? I don't hang around any of the pastors to talk about the news, darling. This is the part of the news that haven't hitched the news yet. Anyway, who do you like? I said I'm not voting Democrat because of what happened to me. And since I'm such a faithful, stalwart person, I wouldn't vote for them because... And you know what they do? And then, if they don't like it, it's almost like a plantation slavery. And since my ancestors were never slaves, and some people's ancestors were slaves, I detest it. I detest slavery. I am a humanist. As I said, I am not a patriot of them. I'm a patriot of the Constitution of the United States of America. And everything else I say, if you're incorrect, fuck you. You need to be adjudicated. There needs to be justice. Anyway, moving on. So even if they kick me out of the United States and say you're subversive, I'm a patriot. The Constitution of the United States, which makes me a libertarian. The Statue of Liberty. Nothing can counteract that, not even a Democrat or a Republican. Anyway, darling, anyway, who else? Who else is going? Colonel Sanders from KFC. We all be eating fried chicken, and that's all right if you're perfectly healthy for that. Just what one thing Colonel Sanders did. I don't know what happened to him in his investment in this area, darling, but Colonel Sanders took his money out of America and transferred it all to different countries to reinvest and left Popeyes in this swelling. I know Popeyes is getting sloppy. That's probably the food comment. I have never seen something that could be such a comfort food deteriorate so fast, minus the competition. But that is how some of these businesses are. Once you make $1,000, I'm gonna say in quotation, you just go to another country and make it super because you can't bother with the standards here. Disagree, but that's okay. You can't judge a people what you will do in business. Business is just business. But I miss the competition. And I am Colonel Sanders. We're at on that topic. Anyway, girl, what about Trump and Carson? I want Jeb Bush to be vice president. I said, if nothing works out well, good. And then I would change my thing there for the first time in my life. I understand why people don't stick to one party. You have to be a forward-thinking people. When you trust people and you can't get that trustworthiness back, or you can't get the efficacy of some sort of professionalism with some integrity, right? With some integrity and some amount of ability to even accept somebody else, lack of responsibility. So to improve the organization or to improve your own outlook, and then in essence, because somebody has accepted somebody else's lack of responsibility, to reward that person, right? I can respect that, but I cannot support people who do not support the things that we agree on face to face or handshake or sign and written. Those people are subversive to the way we live, and then they say that they are Masonic and they're spiritual and all of this. Well, I say F them. I am a constitutional, meaning that rather than say American, maybe America is not what it should be, but I am a constitutional, meaning that the Constitution of the United States is all I think it needs to be. And all these misinterpretations of what we need to do, pass new laws. If you go back to one single law, it's already been defined. It's how we choose to live and how we want another person to live. And quite frankly, if you're not insecure and if you're not living in fear, you give the person the same access to their intellect or to their, or to whatever abilities they are, intellect or social or whatever it is that their needs are, and let them progress. And if they cannot, then you put things in place. This is Misa Grand Duchess Rasmus Coden on, let me see what Wall Street, Tuesday, October 27, 2015 at 9:26 p.m. at Barnes and Nobles with the Wall Street Journal, Journal news. In music, what do you like? Got a lot of energy. But I was listening to Shake Me Up on Sunday, honey. I had Shake Me Up Sunday for leisure and relaxation. Sometimes take a walk, right? This is health now. It's for your health, for leisure and relaxation, darling. Take a walk. I was listening to all Shake You Up music. I went back to 1976. Shake, 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 shake your booty. It was all right, girls. It was all right, and I loved it. Anyway, you have a fantastic evening. I wish I could play that song in here, but I'm in Barnes and Nobles, and sometimes I think I'm talking too loud. They may kick me out. But anyway, here we go. Let me see if I can find this little thing. And maybe I should read you one of my quotations if I can find it. I don't care. Go. trying to find this little thing before I can. Oh God, I can't find it. If I could find it, I would play it for you. Anyway, since it's past over 20 minutes, let me go to my Facebook, see if I can find it and play it. Connected. Here it is. For that quotation, I write 22 seconds ago. Let me stop. This is a quotation I write on the shaker. Your correctness may never be right. That means there's hypocrites. Raise blind eyes. Your kindness may never be alike. Fling your hands wise. Your goodness may never be. Learn and live. Your goodness may never be learned and live. Learn in life. Rise and shake your ass and smile. And for that, I did. Shake your booty. I just want to end my newscast with that, darling. I really do. It's taking too long to come up, and so we must go. Shake your booty. Imagine I love black cock. Coming down to the pornographic portion now, honey. Still looking for that black cock. I love men, honey. I'm a gay bottom girl. Flowers and feathers, fluff and tufts. This is me, the Grand Duchess, signing off from Barnes and Nobles. Flowers and feathers, fluffs and tufts. Have a good evening. Catch your haunted movie, honey. Shake your ass and smile. Girl, shake your booty.